Alrighty, what is up today? I have created what I think would be the perfect Lego Star Wars wave, and this would coincide very well with the recently released ATTE set, similarly to what they did last year. And I think that the sets that I've created would allow for the perfect army building and some very neutral sets that you could use in a lot of things. All of these are going to be based off of Clone Wars, and they're all going to be, Phase 2 clone troopers and things, sort of the latter years, and very generic battles and things, so no specific instances besides one of the sets that goes with the ATTE that these troopers and vehicles have to be used in. And I think that this would make for just such a perfect wave. And if LEGO wants to make money, which they don't really like doing for some reason because they give us sets nobody wants, I think that they should maybe take some notes from this video. So without further ado, let's get into my dream LEGO Star Wars wave that I think would be the best of all time. So possibly the best sets of any LEGO Star Wars wave are always the battle packs, and we saw LEGO bring battle packs back from pretty much the dead with last year's, or rather this year's, Snowtrooper battle pack. And I would like to do a similar idea with this one, except that instead of filling up the UCS AT-AT from the year prior, this time it would be filling up the ATTE, probably the most anticipated set of the entire year. So I would also like to add 2 opposing battle packs, just like LEGO used to do, and these were always the most fun sets, in my opinion, of the year to get, were the battle packs that you would have 2 different opposing forces from the same movie or sometimes even video game that would be going against each other. And I feel like we should do that again, recreating something LEGO hasn't done in a while. Alrighty, so our first battle pack here is going to be very similarly to what they did with the UCS AT-AT. And this is going to be the 212th Troopers Battle Pack, which is something that I think a lot of people are wanting to see. And this, actually, I found a picture, a mock-up someone made that pretty much encapsulates what I want to do with it. So I would have 3 plain clone troopers from the 212th Legion, and I would not use the white arms for them. As clean as they do look, it kind of looks plain to me, so I would either do the dual molded arms where half of it is orange and half of it is white to kind of represent maybe shoulder pads, or I would give them orange arms just to sort of add more color. And I would also add, instead of a Commander Cody in this one, because we already got Phase 2 Cody and nobody wants a battle pack with a named character, I would put an airborne trooper in there, because not only are they absolutely amazing looking, but they were very prominent in the battle. And I don't think we needed one of the ATTE, so I think this would be a great way to get those troopers, and especially to add them to your battle scene. And I would do exactly what this mock did, and I would have the builds, instead of like a speeder or something, I would have it be a crab droid, a tri droid or octoptara droid, and then I would maybe add another little turret, like a little cannon and like a rock face or something, just something small to really justify that $20 price point. Now this next set, which is going to be opposing another set we get, is something that I can't believe has never been done before. This is going to be a Clone Trooper battle pack, except it's going to include 3 regular white Phase 2 clones, which we've only ever gotten in a Microfighter and maybe an Advent Calendar, if I'm not mistaken. So it is a crime that we have not gotten these minifigures. We've quite literally, pun intended, been robbed of them. And I don't know why, and it's a shame. So I would have 3 regular plain white Phase 2 clone troopers in this battle pack, and then I would add another trooper being either an ARF trooper, like the Phase 2 ARF troopers. I think this would be a great opportunity to get one of those in LEGO for the first time, or a Phase 2 ARC trooper, which are pretty much just the Phase 1 ARC troopers, and they would have the similar design to the 2012 battle pack one, where it's just a plain white ARC trooper, and I think they might have some red on them, but basically a plain unnamed one. And then for the build for this, I thought maybe we could do something similar to a ATRT, because by this time I'm assuming the 501st battle pack will be off shelves, so we could get something similar to an ATRT, and not quite the same, just something that slightly resembles it. And we could also throw in another build with this, which would be a mini AV7 cannon. And I think these two builds together, if you can make them mid-size but not big enough that it would take up more than that $20 price point, would be really nice to get, especially with that ARF Trooper being able to pilot the mini sort of ATRT looking walker build, and then the AV7, just to kind of add something else that you can have these neutral, gray, white, whatever color you want vehicles that isn't very like denoting of a different, clone company like a 212th or a 501st walker. And then, the cannon, whatever colors the cannons are usually in, just having these plain neutral builds to sort of be able to make an army for whatever battle you want. So if you want to use these to coincide with the other sets that are going to be in this wave, you can. If you want to add these to your battle of Utapau with the ATTE, you can, because they're just plain white clones and you can use them in pretty much any battle you want. Now, the opposition to this battle pack and what is going to be used for some other sets in this wave is going to be the Droid battle pack. Now, we haven't seen one of these since the conception of the battle pack all the way back in 2007, and I think that's a shame, but I sort of understand why, because it's going to be hard to get people to be willing to spend $20 on a set with no minifigs and just droids, because droids aren't obviously worth as much as Lego minifigs. So I've decided to double the count just to sort of make it worth that price. So I'm going to include 4 regular tan battle droids, 2 super battle droids, and then 2 battle droid commanders. And that's going to basically allow you to have your own little battalion. And I mean, it's kind of crazy. If you buy 2 of these sets, that's 16 battle droids. So I think it definitely makes it a lot more worth that price point when you look at just how many you're getting. Because if I just put 4 or 5 in this set, I don't believe it would be worth $20 at all. The builds for this, I'm going to basically do more droids. So I'm going to have a Droidica as one of the builds. I know a lot of people don't like the new ones, so I don't really care which model you throw in. They could totally make like a new one for this too. And then I'm going to have a Dwarf Spider Droid. I mean, pretty much the exact same one we saw in the ATTE. I think it's about the perfect build they could have done for it. And then also I'm going to include a Stap. So, just a little stab, pretty typical for one of your battle droids, just to give them some extra firepower. And then also a little, similarly to what we saw in the old battle pack, a little transport. And this only has to be a few pieces. You could totally make this out of like 10 pieces, super simple, but just something to transport the battle droids around on, especially, so you don't just have them all walking around, because most Lego sets that come with a lot of battle droids have little things to carry them around on. So yeah, I think that all these little builds plus 8 figures would totally justify the $20 battle pack price point and would really make a good army builder to go up against your other clone sets in this wave. This would also be the first chance to get super battle droids since I think 2015 or 2016, which is an absolute shame. It's an absolute crime that we don't have those available and haven't had them available for a while. So I think that this wave would be a great opportunity to implement more super battle droids where they have been missing previously. The next set in this ideally January of 2023 Lego Star Wars wave is going to be a Republic Gunship. Now I think this would make a lot of sense, saying that we recently got the UCS Republic Gunship not too long ago, and it would be a great way to sort of have both of them available, just like the AT-AT, if I'm not mistaken, currently. So this would be, I've heard that the Republic Gunships in prior years have been oversized, so you could definitely scale this down just a little bit. And this would include 2 Phase 2 pilots, so you have pilots for each of the seats, 2 plain white Phase 2 clone troopers. You would also have a Jedi in this set. You could make up a Jedi. You could throw in pretty much any Jedi. I don't really care. Just, you could totally do one that we haven't gotten in a while, like CC-10, or you could do, a very popular one like Mace Windu or something. You could totally just throw them in there and have that Jedi to sort of make another reason to buy the set. And for your opposition, I'm just going to throw in 3 battle droids, just like the ATTE. And this set will retail for $120, ideally $110, something in that sort of range, like $100 to $120. So yeah, probably ideally $110. And the builds would be obviously your Republic Gunship. You can have like a little speeder if you want to in the back, but that doesn't really matter too much to me, as long as you have enough interior space to fit a good amount of clones. And then, no specific company, just a plain Republic Gunship. And then you would have a Droidica as one of the builds, just so you can have a little bit more opposition to this thing. And then also a small cannon for the droids, once again, so at least the droids have some fighting chance against this. And the way a lot of these sets are going to work is just basically army building for both sides at once. So yeah, $110, you get this pretty good deal in my opinion, and I think it's something that a lot of people have been wanting, especially seeing the price of the Republic Gunship go up so much. And to be able to have a Republic Gunship you can use in pretty much any scene that you want would be absolutely amazing, and I think for army builders it would be pretty much perfect. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about this set. This would definitely be a highly anticipated one. An even more highly anticipated set is going to be the MTT. Now this is going to be the first time we've actually seen a CIS colored, blue and gray MTT to coincide with sort of the latter Clone Wars episodes. And this is going to include 2 battle droid pilots just to be able to pilot your MTT, 8 regular battle droids to fill up the MTT, and then I'm also going to include a clone ARC trooper, the plain, non-colored ARC troopers, and then also another plain white clone trooper, because you really can't go wrong with those. And then to top it all off, throw in a battle droid commander to sort of lead this thing into battle. And yeah, I think this would be a great set. You could have, a few different ways you could build this. There would be like a little stab on the side for one of the battle droids, obviously the blue and gray MTT, and then I would also give the clone troopers a speeder bike just so they also have some opposition to this. And this would probably be the only like clone speeder in the whole thing, which is typically a common thing in these Lego Star Wars sets, so just sort of give them some opposition with that. And yeah, I think at the $120 price mark, this would be a really good set for army building. You would only really need a couple of these, and your armies will be absolutely stacked. So yeah, that is my idea for an MTT, and probably would be one of the most popular sets of this wave. Alrighty, and some smaller sets for army building in this wave are going to be, first off, the homing spider droid. Now, we've seen this before, very similar design to what we've had before. Homing spider droid, a dwarf spider droid on the side just to give it that little extra flair. And then also, I would give the clones like a little cannon. It could totally be like 5 pieces. It's a little like rock face, or like a little metal shield with a cannon on it, just to sort of give them something to fight against the homing spider droid. And speaking of clones, this set is going to include 1 normal white clone, and then I would have what I would name a clone commander, and this is going to be a clone trooper just with some extra, maybe like a pauldron, maybe a comma if you really wanted to give him that. And then also this would be the first time we would see that sort of visor like range finding mix between the 2 helmet piece. And this could either be integrated into it, or it could be like the visors we already have for Lego Star Wars, where it can flip up and down over the trooper's eyes. And this would be like this would be like what we see on Commander Bly. And I think it would really sort of make this set a popular one to get that piece, just so you can have these unique clone designs, especially because fighting them is going to be a battle droid and a super battle droid to help out your homing spider droid. And yeah, that's about all for that set. And now for the last set of this wave, which I don't know if 7 sets is like small or large for a wave or whatever. You could totally add some other sets from like Andor or whatever will be coming out around then. You could totally add some more sets for other things if there needs to be more, but this is just like the main part of the wave. Is going to be the AV7 Republic Cannon. Now this set has been done before, and it's done, in my opinion, pretty much almost perfectly, so you wouldn't need to change up a ton from that design. And the minifigs would stay relatively the same, except for instead of 2 Wolfpack troopers, I would include 2 clone gunners just to sort of man your turret. And this would be a fun one, I'm not gonna lie, because of just the sheer size of this cannon. And you could also have another Jedi alongside them, Plo Koon, or whoever you may want to include. It doesn't really matter to me. And also, I'm going to have a special thing about this set, similarly to the homing spider droid with the new piece for the clone trooper. I'm going to bring back the rocket-armed battle droids. The super battle droids that had the rocket arm, I think, were super popular characters, and they look really cool. And we haven't gotten them in, what would that be, like 12 or 13 years at this point, which is just a shame. So this would be a perfect opportunity to put 2 of those in this set, and also give them a little, like, I don't know, you could do like a little wall or a little like shield station with rockets on the side of it to sort of symbolize how they would maybe load their rocket arms. And I think this would make for a really popular Lego set, and especially one for this sort of army building wave that would go really well with those 2 clone gunners to be able to man whatever other sets may be in this wave that you might need gunners for. I also forgot to mention this set would retail at $40. And that is going to wrap up at least my portion of our greatest LEGO Star Wars wave ever. Now this is really supposed to be all about basically army building and just what pretty much all, not all, but most LEGO Star Wars fans, especially on YouTube, want to see. Lots of clone troopers, lots of droid sets, and basically sets that you can use in all sorts of different battles throughout the movies and the Clone Wars, and especially ones that come with characters that you can army build a lot with those battle packs, and then also including a lot of battle droids and plain white clones in the sets. I think is just a good call to have neutral sets that you can basically army build, and the whole wave would be like, all right, you want to buy one of these sets, that's fine, but if you want to buy 100 of these sets, that works too. And while you might get a couple, Jedi that you might have reused, everything else is going to be these minifigures that will be popular and completely reusable. Tell me what you think of this down below in the comments, if you would have changed anything or added anything. I think my personal favorite part is tying in the ATTE with this wave with that battle pack to sort of also allow it to be interchangeable. And you can also use a lot of these sets with that same ATTE battle in Revenge of the Sith, or the other way around. You could use the ATTE with these sets and then just fill them up with minifigs from the battle packs and things, and basically they work interchangeably. And I tried to bring a lot of new ideas to the table, or a lot of old ideas people want to see reused, especially with that blue MTT people have been wanting for a while. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, I worked very hard on this video, so a like or a subscribe or whatever, typical YouTube big stuff, that would all be very nice and appreciated. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Shout out to all the people who made the mocks in this video. I did not make any images in this video, so shout out to them for having similar ideas that I have. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. God bless.